what's up? Check out this blunt and honest review from the Jock and Nerd Podcast. That's us. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the jock.
He's the nerd.
And he's the rug boy.
What's up, guys?
Jock and Nerd. Okay, fellas, let's get into this week's movie review. We will be looking at the recently Oscar-nominated movie Bugonia. Here's your spoiler alerts.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
That warning, I'll reiterate, we're going to spoil the fuck out of this movie, and this is one of those movies that you kind of just want to watch without getting spoiled. It is streaming on Peacock. It's been out there for a hot second. People are catching up on this. In fact, today at work, two colleagues separately were like, oh, I watched Bugonia this weekend. I was like, oh. I do think the nominations are going to help this movie. People checking it out, because not a lot of people checked it out in the theater. Anthony.
Well, it did all right.
Yeah, it did okay for a
Yorgos movie about what it's
Yorgos. Yes. This is actually an English language remake of a 2003 South Korean film called Save the Green Planet by Jang Joon-hwan. So this one, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos and written by Will Tracy. Jang Joon-hwan originally was going to direct this remake himself, but then there was some health things and he had to step away. He is still an executive producer on the film. On Rotten Tomatoes, the critics give this one an 88% tomatometer. The audience giving it an 84%. Metacritic has it as 72. Anthony, I'm going to guess the letterbox is like 3.6.
No, 3.9.
9. Oh shit, it's higher. And I was trying to guess high. Oh, that's pretty high there.
People liked it on the Letterboxd.
The movie has a reported budget of $55 million.
What?
Which would actually make this the most expensive Yorgos Lanthimos movie. Yeah, originally it started at $45 million, and then they were like, it ballooned up to
This movie could have been like $10 million easy.
I mean, 20, 30, yeah, 55. It's interesting.
Way too expensive.
Emma Stone needs to get paid. I don't know. In box office wise, it has only made 41 million worldwide. 17 million of that.
It'll probably, domestic. I think if not already, it'll get a short re-release probably because of the Oscars. But well, it's not going to make a ton of money.
They're putting Sinners back out. They're putting One Battle back out. I find all this very interesting in the marketing for the Oscars this time of year.
Yeah, you might be able to catch it somewhere. It's also on Peacock, right?
Yes, it is streaming on Peacock. So that's where I feel most people will be checking this out. Starring, of course, Emma Stone. If it's a Yorgos movie, you got to have Emma Stone. This is their fourth collab. They've done. It seems like Emma Stone is just making collab. Yeah, I think is Emma Stone's last 4 movies been Yorgos Lanthimos movies. Maybe not last.
At least
4.
The last 3.
The last 3. Sure. Poor Things, Kinds of Kindness, and this one. I think she's
The Favorite too.
The Favorite. Yeah. But how was that? I wonder if there was a gap between that and if she did anything else. Also starring Jesse Plemons as Teddy. Aidan Delbus as his cousin Don.
They're not, for what it's worth, it's not her last 4.
It's not her last 4. Okay, so she's doing
She's done other stuff.
But she loves the Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yep.
You got a small part in here from Alicia Silverstone. Remember her? Clueless, Batgirl.
Yeah.
Didn't expect to see her in this. And then the other guy I got to mention is Stavros Halkias as creepy cop Casey. I don't know, he's not creepy, but he's a cop. He's got a cop mustache. This movie is rated R. It's 1 hour 59-minute runtime, and actually nominated for 4 Oscar nominations: Best Picture, Best Actress for Emma Stone, Adapted Screenplay, and Original Score. Not bad for the Bugonia. Anthony, what is Bugonia about?
Oh man, Bugonia is about a conspiracy theorist played by Jesse Plemons, who believes a corporate executive, played by Emma Stone, has wronged him and his family. So he decides to capture her and take down the evil alien plot that she has cooked up behind the scenes. But is she an alien or is he crazy? Let's find out.
Let's find out, and find out we do. So you guys just off air were like, you didn't watch this recently. I watched it again recently. It's a fun movie. But Anthony, what do you remember overall opening thoughts?
Yeah, going off memory, I did see this in the theater when it came out in October.
Ooh. And
I remember really, really liking it then. My feelings haven't changed with time. I thought it was it was my first Yorgos film. And I had a blast watching it. I thought the dynamic between Jesse Plemons' character and Emma Stone and that little, like, I don't know if it would call like a cat and mouse game, but just their mano a mano type vibe and them trying to, I think what this movie does really well is Jesse Plemons' character is like, what a lot of people would consider a conspiracy theorist. So you're like, he's got to be crazy. And he's captured this lady who, even though she's like an asshole, he's still captured her and he's accusing her of being an alien.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't root for this guy. But then Emma Stone just comes back at him with such like conniving stuff. And you're like, fuck, I can't figure out what it is. So you got the whole mystery there. And I thought it was filmed really well. I thought the score was really well done. So it has a lot of good things good going for it. And I found that I was riveted by the whole thing. And I was on the edge of my seat trying to figure out like, okay, what's going to happen next? How's she going to get out of this? Is she an alien? Is he crazy? What's the backstory here? So every little reveal I felt built on each other. And overall, I had a really good time with the movie.
Yeah, this is a very divisive movie, it turns out, once I started looking up people's reactions. And that ending, you either love it or you hate it. Ruggs, what did you think? Opening thoughts?
This is a movie that, upon beginning it sucks you right in. Right? You're in. You're invested. You want to know what the fuck's, is this guy fucking nuts or not? Is this bitch a fucking alien?
Yeah.
Which is it? And you're sitting there and you're wrestling with that the whole time. Should you be this, are you going too far? Are you not going far enough, motherfucker? What are we doing? And so when you have a film that can get you involved like that and you're not working hard to try and like the movie. Yeah. It's like, you're like, okay, now what happens at the end? It may turn people off because it's really doing things on a high level, especially when you get to the meat of it, like this interplay of two people kind of one-upping each other and facing off against each other and playing this mental game of chess. Reveals are happening. Tension is getting ratcheted up. All those things are happening. So yeah, I think even if you don't like the ending, it's worth going through the experience.
Yeah.
And I don't really love the ending, not because I don't like what happens. I just don't like how it's done. It feels kind of, I mean, it's Yorgos Lanthimos, so
yes,
he goes in a wacky direction, but at the same time, I still like the experience of watching the film. I just think that if this thing wasn't named Bugonia, just such a weird out there thing to name it.
Yeah.
They could have named it anything else, like The Interrogation or anything that would give you a little bit more like, oh, I know what this is going to be about. Or I want to see a movie about something like this. Suspicion, or I don't know, something that kind of brings you into the movie. Bugonia ends up being about bees.
Do you guys know why it's called Bugonia? I also had the same question. I was like,
it's
what?
about bees. Isn't it about bees?
It is about bees. So it's the name of a folk ritual described in ancient Mediterranean texts, including Virgil's Georgics. It involves sacrificing a cow, believing that bees would spontaneously generate from the carcass of the cow. And the movie starts with bees. It ends with a shot of a bee. The bees are kind of a part of the plot.
A sacrifice to save the bees.
A sacrifice to save the bees, which is totally part of the story, but it is a weird title. I really love this movie. It's my kind of movie. And to your point, Yorgos Lanthimos is wacky, but he maintains a mostly grounded thing until the wild ending. I thought it was weird. I thought it was shot amazingly. It rests entirely on the performances of Emma Stone.
It's a director-actor movie.
Jesse Plemons, yes.
Yep. It's like those two things are in sync really well. The actors and the director are vibing, and and the performance is being edited perfectly by the director.
And you know what? It works. She gets nominated. The movie gets nominated. Yeah, you know, you have your Scorsese and DiCaprio, and yet now you have Lanthimos and Stone work really well together. The music I thought was amazing. The score is great. The way he shoots Michelle character when she's bald and looking up, where it's very shallow focus. Her face is in focus and it falls off. And at times she does kind of look like an alien, because at this point they have shaved her hair off because he thinks that's how they communicate. They're going to track her. They have covered her in antihistamine cream to like block her powers. And she looks weird. But seeing the poster and the shots of her like all shaved and white and then finding out why that's kind of fun. But there are moments where she's like, her eyes are darting while he's interrogating her, that she looks like an alien. And I love that little, how he's fucking with you. So overall, like this, this is a fantastic movie. And I want to talk about the character of Teddy, because you have to feel sympathetic. There's people like this out there, but I felt bad for Teddy once we learned everything about him. The house, how messy it is, like those details are great. But the Teddy, this fucking kid who's like, dad ran off, his mom is sick, and the lady he works for essentially poisoned her with a clinical experimental trial. Casey dedefinitely molested him when he was a kid, right? Is that what they're inferring?
Yeah, for sure.
So he gets the cop gets who was his babysitter 20 years earlier. He gets molested by his babysitter, and he's reading all this shit that starts to make sense to him. And then you really feel bad about Don, but these two are so great together. I mean, I almost love Don more than Teddy.
Don is fantastic. The actor that plays Don.
That was so. It felt so natural.
Yeah,
it felt real.
I wasn't sure he was acting. I was like, is this motherfucker acting? Because this is amazing. I won't mess it up, Teddy.
Jesse Plemons, I mean, it's kind of a shame that he didn't also get nominated for Best Picture or Best Actor, because I think he's equally, if not, somebody could argue even better than Emma Stone, because he's towing this line of like conspiracy theorist, crazy guy.
But he's smart.
But then you're also like, but then you as the movie reveals itself, you realize, oh, he's the smartest guy here. And yes, he's like brutal.
Yeah.
Because there's that scene where it reveals he's been experimenting on people for a while.
Yeah.
But, when you get the end reveal, you're like, oh, like he's always known, and he's just hasn't, like, no one would believe him. So he had to take things into his own hands. And obviously, like, that's the scene that sold me on like his performance. And it's a very simple scene, but when Emma Stone as Michelle tricks him into putting antifreeze into his mom,
oh my god,
and then he runs over there, and then he's on the bike back, and you can just see him like crying in fury. I'm like, man, he's fucking getting after in this movie. He's really acting hard.
Yeah, that's a crazy scene, because this dude that's all bloody just runs into a hospital. Nobody fucking notices, and he does it all and watches her die and gets away before anybody fucking notices and makes it back.
I did want to point out, you mentioned the like how it was filmed. One of the things that they really emphasized throughout the movie is like the duality of the two characters. So you had Emma Stone's character, who's the CEO, and she's in this like very sterile, clean environment, like very perfect, clean shapes. Like when you're following her walking, it's on these very clean hallways. But then you see where Teddy lives, and it's this like wood cabin type feel, and there's like shit everywhere, really messy. You just immediately you see the dichotomy in the two characters, and like one is this sterile CEO, the other one's like this mess, and you're gonna be like, well, that fucking guy with the messy environment is like gotta be like,
that's a nut job.
Yeah, he's a nut job. Right? But then he's obviously as you go throughout the movie, I think he is like, this has drove him to a little bit of insanity, but almost rightfully so, given what he's experienced and what he knows.
Right. I mean, the man is smart enough to render a 3D model of a spaceship on his computer. Like, that's not easy. I was like, fuck, this kid is actually smart. And turns out he was onto something. I even love in the beginning, Michelle, you learn about Michelle, how she's like, oh, you remember, feel free to leave at 5:30 if you want. But if you have work, make sure you finish it, and just casual, And she says it again when she returns. She just wants to be liked so badly.
What was the company? What did they do? They made medical shit or what?
Pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceutical neotropic something with the bees.
Yeah.
That were killing the bees, but also experimental clinical trials that involve people who they fucked up and died. And those flashback scenes are also fascinating with Alicia Silverstone, and it's in black and white, and she's always floating. But you see, she also has a little bit of a distrustful streak in her that she has passed on to Teddy, which, it all culminates into him just the detail of how messy the house when he puts the foil up was like so cool. It was like relatable almost, the fucking mess they have in their house. You're like, I've seen shit like that.
I've been to your house before. It kind of looks like that, too.
I'm saying. It looked like, when Roseanne first came on and there was a sitcom with an actual messy house, I was like, this is amazing. I can relate to this instead of your clean fucking museum bullshit. Nobody has a house like that. Get the fuck out of here. Who's dusting all that shit? But Rugs,
one thing, and then you can go to Rugs.
Yeah.
I think the thing, though, is like, when someone has a messy house like that, and his is beyond messy, you always automatically think that person's crazy, right?
Right.
But then if someone also similar, like, has a sterile, clean, like, environment, that also presents as a crazy
that
thing.
person is also a serial killer.
You're seeing these visuals that both are like, something's off here. So it just builds up that tension of like, who's off between these two?
Yeah, you watch them both train in the beginning, like her training versus their training. And her training comes in handy because she fucking kicks the shit out of them when they.
I love that scene where they try and get her and she beats the fuck out of them.
Kind of funny. If he didn't have a needle with a sedative, like there was no way they were getting.
Yeah, there's no way they're getting there.
I love when they do that scene and then I think they cut to where it's like a longer camera shot. And you can just see them fighting, like with like barely any sound. You just see her kicking both of their asses and getting away from them.
Yeah, and then she runs towards the camera.
Yeah,
the movie was shot in VistaVision also. So I read it behind the scenes, that scene where Teddy or Don cuts her hair in the car after they grab her. They had 4 VistaVision cameras running, and she actually let them shave her hair. She obviously shaved her head for this, but they did that in real time. And it looks great. It's kind of a fucking crazy thing right in the middle of the car ride.
I want to talk about the gun.
Yeah.
The shotgun or the rifle. Whichever.
John has a shotgun.
That added so much tension.
Yeah.
Just the presence of that gun.
Yeah.
And the fact that Don was handling it. That just was so psychologically fucked up.
Of all people, they gave it to Don.
The gun to this kid who was like,
I don't talk to you. Alien filth.
And what happens with that gun is crazy as well.
Yes, we'll get to that. So the one thing we should mention is what Teddy actually believes. He thinks Michelle is an Andromedan alien who are killing Earth's honeybees and forcing humans into servitude, right? And he wants her to set up a meeting with her leaders so he can negotiate a fucking peace thing with the Andromedans that are taking over the world. Crazy, right? Is it? I loved how you were like, that guy's a nut, but he's smart. And then she starts doing stuff at the end, and you're like, wait a minute. Is she pretending to do this? And if she is she making it seem like she's pretending or she's actually doing it? Like, all that shit was great until we find out what the deal is. But the tension, the pacing of this movie is fantastic. It doesn't feel like 2 hours. Everything gets you right in, and everything builds up to the next thing really well, keeping the momentum moving. And then, it just gets batshit crazy thing after crazy thing as it heads into the ending.
Do you think the ending ruins this movie?
I don't think so. It's
revealed real quick that she is an alien.
She's a fucking alien. He was
right. that they are trying to infiltrate Earth to basically kill everyone, right?
And that's not even the bad part. The bad part is that the aliens are just they're not cool in any way, or
they're wearing giant knitted sacks.
Yeah, they're just
some
really
reason.
stupid looking.
She comes out of a goo.
And it doesn't even seem like they're threatening at all or anything. So it's just.
I think the ending. I'll comment on the ending real quick. I don't think the ending ruins the movie, but I also did even though I haven't seen a Yorgos movie, I kind of know Yorgos's vibe just from seeing other things and being kind of in this.
Yeah.
That when that ending happened, I went, not like a splat, like that wasn't a splash, and I wasn't going, oh man, what a great ending. I just went, that seems like Yorgos. That seems like something Yorgos would end the movie on. I don't know. I don't think it ruined it. I just kind of went, oh, all right.
Like Poor Things was a wacky movie, but it wasn't a wacky movie from the get-go.
The whole way through, right.
It was like a bizarre Frankenstein movie.
Yeah.
But and then The Favorite is a period piece with it's hyper like modernized. So it's like even though it's happening in the past, it seems like everybody's kind of has modern conventions and like sexuality and stuff like that. It's very, very forward. So when it comes to the aliens here, I can see that he would go that weird, but I don't know if it's better for, I mean, I guess the juxtaposition is what he's going for. Like you just went on this really crazy tightrope ride that's you were taking really seriously. And then he kind of like lets the air out of it with these aliens.
Yeah. But then the ending is kind of shocking, too, because she essentially deems Earth and humans a failed experiment and fucking kills everyone. And this montage scene at the end of the movie goes on so long. Just maybe this is where the $55 million went, because they have to set and light all of those shots for like the 2 seconds they're on screen. Like you got Muslims praying, you got people fucking, you're out at his job, like all these random places, everyone is dead. And then except for the animals. And it ends with the bees, which I thought was a very poetic ending to tie it back to the bees. But that montage is nuts. It keeps going.
When they revealed the ending and when they get to the cut to the ship, everyone in my theater started laughing. So even me, I was like, this has gotten very ridiculous. But I don't have a strong opinion actually on that ending, which is interesting because I think a lot of people probably do. But I had such a great time with the movie that I didn't feel like it really ruined anything. I just went, oh, okay.
It kind of reminded me of Weapons, that ending.
I was about to say that. Well, Weapons had a fucking bonkers ending,
bonkers ending, and you're howling and you're laughing. And you're like, what?
But I think Weapons is more of a bonkers, like satisfying ending where you're like, this is so much fun. And this one like is just bizarre. It makes you laugh, but it's also very like the choice of like how they look and all that stuff, like Ruggs mentioned.
Yeah, that is weird. And the set and everything and the way the ship looked was
what did you think, Ruggs? You didn't like it. It sounds like, right?
Well, I like the film. I just feel like to tune it up to the next level to make it like a fucking like bulletproof movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think playing the ending to be as silly as it was takes away. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe it's too somber, and nihilistic to kind of have like the aliens kind of feel so real. So that he made them feel like they're not real.
Right.
And so because they're like, oh, we're going to end every human being and destroy humanity. But I guess they have to kind of take a comedic spin on it. Like it just fizzles out with a fart, like, you know?
Yeah. No, I think you hit it on. I think that's probably where it was going, is they wanted to let the air out of the bag, because you're right. I mean, up to that point, you know, what's his face? She cons Don into shooting his own head off.
Yeah, well, that's not what she was.
Teddy goes into the closet and gets. I mean, like, it's not if you just leave it as is and then also the aliens killed everybody. I mean, it is pretty.
Yeah, they castrate themselves.
They're chemically castrating themselves so it doesn't, so they can focus. And that's the other thing,
because they don't want to be turned on by her,
dude. There's dudes out there like this is the thing, which is, you know, it mixes a little bit of reality into it. And you're like, I know there's motherfuckers out there like this.
There's dudes out like this. What I think what Yorgos makes it is clever with it, or with the writers, whoever did it, is they make these dudes who we know are like this and can be considered crazy, he makes them the protagonists.
Right. Sympathetic.
Right.
And I
don't think they're sympathetic. I just think they're de facto right.
Right.
They end up being right, even though you fucking don't like them.
They do end up being right. Yeah.
Because I think you do. I think when they cut to the shot of him where she finds out that he's been doing this.
Yeah. When she finds that room.
I think he's been I think he's made mistakes too. Like, I think he's found aliens and experimented on them, but I think he's also found other people and
just killed people until he found something.
Well, when he's electroshocking her, he goes.
That's an uncomfortable scene.
That is a crazy scene and he's playing Green Day and shit real loud. Right. But then when it stops, he's like, "Oh, the output has never reached that threshold before." And Don goes, "Before?" And you're like, "What the fuck?" So he's been shocking motherfuckers. But then I love this. After that, the whole dynamic changes as he's like, "Oh, I am so sorry, Your Royal Highness. Only the most elite emperor can withstand that shock. My apologies." He profusely apologizing. You have that amazing dinner scene where he lets her shower and wear his mom's clothes, and feeds her some nice food, but she's tied down. And when she starts bringing up his mom, tying this whole thing together, I love that shot of him just running over the table and fucking attacking her. And then Casey shows up. And so this whole sequence is fantastic with her downstairs with Don and Casey upstairs with Teddy asking questions, trying to get some cake and shit, and actually just feeling guilty about whatever he did to him. And he's like, "I promise you, I didn't do that to anybody else. I just want you to know." I was like, "What the fuck, Casey the cop?" But when she finally gets to Dot, and she's actually starting to break through to him, and he's like, "Will you promise me to take you with me?" Like earlier, he's talking about, aren't we going to be in space? Like, you get the sense the whole time, Don don't want to be on the planet. Don does not want this life. You know,
Don's also on the spectrum.
Yeah. And he just wants to leave Earth and all the shitty people that he's, that have been an issue. And it's so sad. And she goes, "Yes, Don, I promise I will take you with me."
I mean, she's very much an evil person or evil being.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. And then when he's like, "Okay, I'm ready to go now," and then just fucking blows his head off. Holy shit. And the blood splatter on her. Fantastic. And then the next violent thing, Casey hears the thing and he fucking knocks him over and throws bees on him, smashes his skull in. Two really violent outbursts real quick. And then him exploding in the closet and his head knocks her out. I mean, it's kind of funny and fucking ridiculous and wild.
I enjoyed the scene where he's like with her going to the office and she's been missing for a while.
Yeah, everyone's like staring at her and she's like, "Hi, remember you can leave."
She's limping around and everyone knows that this guy with her
is a wild movie.
I was like, what do these people think right now that she's
I forgot about the closet? Oh my God,
with this dude dressed like this.
Well, yeah, he goes in the closet with all the bombs and then just detonates it.
Why did that go off? Because here's what happens. She says, "I got to enter this 58 code digit into this calculator." And the whole time, you're still like, "Oh my gosh, she's making all this up." She's like, "Yeah, it had to be something banal and human, And she's like, "That closet, that's the transporter, and we'll make a link. And I just got to press enter." She's like, "You ready?" And so she puts him in the closet and she backs away behind the column. And she goes, "Ready? 3, 2, 1," and then presses a button. And then he explodes.
So you're asking why he exploded?
It's because it was a real teleporter, wasn't it? And probably interfered.
I think she set him up.
She detonated his thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess she can do that.
I don't know. It was, I'd have to rewatch it. You've seen it more recently than us.
Well, I think something happens inside the closet that might have, made the bomb just go off.
Well, on Wikipedia, if we're to trust this, I'm looking at it right now. It says, as Teddy enters the closet, the vest detonates by mistake.
Was it by mistake? But she backed away, counted to 3, and hid and pressed that button like she knew something was.
I feel like she did it, but
yeah, that's the thought I had, is that she had something to do with it,
because it is an actual teleporter. Turns out.
Well, she does get to space at some point. So
and then she comes out.
She goes in the closet.
Yeah, she goes in the closet. It's just a fucking
Well,
wild
she goes in the
ending.
closet after the crime. She's in an ambulance and has it pull over and then goes back to the scene of the crime and gets in the closet.
Yeah, she just jumps out of the ambulance and runs. She's like, oh, I forgot I got to go in here. And it's covered in blood. And then the next thing you see her come out of that goo. Some of the wordplay and the dialogue is great, too, between them. Or when Teddy's like, fucking shibboleths. And she's like, oh, you mean shibboleth? And then he just gets mad, breaks a chair. And then when he comes back after she's found the room, then she's like full on alien. But watching it the first time, you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? She goes, how many were Andromedans? And then she tells them like the whole history of what happened.
Well, you still don't know because
You don't know, but you're like, is she making making this shit up now?
It could be implied that she's faking, she's playing into it because this is the only way she's figured out to like get out of this situation.
But it's very detailed and specific.
Like up until he blows up, you don't know if she's an alien.
Right.
Or up until she goes back into
No, I think up until she goes back in that closet, you're like, because the first watch, I'm like, what the fuck is she doing?
You don't know, which is really, I think they do a really good job of that because a lot of films you can figure out, like what's really happening probably halfway through, and they don't actually want you to figure it out. But this one, I was definitely like, this could go either way. I don't know where this is going still.
Right until the very end.
Yeah.
And then when you watch,
and then you get the cool ship, right?
then you get a crazy ship. But then you watch it again, and you're like, holy shit, he was fucking right the whole time. She's telling everything she's telling is the truth. It's kind of crazy. I love when she's like, this is our destiny, and the hour is almost upon us. Yay. Just these little stupid things that they do and some of the lines.
Well, I like in the beginning when she's using like negotiation and business speak with him.
Yes.
To like
he ain't buying it.
Get him. She's like I forget the exact lines because it's been a while, but she's saying these things and he's just like, no, I know what you're trying to do. Stop it.
No, it's great because she gives him the here's what's going to happen speech, right? That happens in these moments. And then he's like, that's pretty good. My heart is racing. It's pretty human. The problem is every time she tries to reason with him, he tells her, he's like, there's no government. There's no police. There's no order. Like he doesn't believe in anything.
Right.
Because he believes so deeply that these are just aliens fucking his life up and he needs to fix this. So you're like, okay, so she got to play into it. And then that moment where she's like, I'm an alien. And she says this whole spiel. And then she just goes, I'm an alien. And he still's like, I don't really buy it. And then I just love how, Don asks simple questions, but Teddy is always very patient with him. Very, like, he explains everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very loving relationship. So you kind of just feel bad for these two.
Yeah, it's. I mean, as Rugg mentioned, if you didn't have the ridiculousness of the alien stuff at the end, it'd be a pretty sad movie.
It'd be like a tragic, fucking sad thing.
Like I walked out of that movie going, "This is a good time," but as you talk about the things that happen, I'd go, "Why did I have such a great time with a movie that's sad?"
It's fucking dark,
right?
So like, think about this: if you just take the alien plot device, right? Like, okay, what is the aliens' goals? What are they doing? Mm-hmm. None of that stuff makes any fucking real sense.
No.
It's all gobbledygook. And so that is the illusion. That's the master illusion that he pulled off. It's like, he's making this whole fucking intense, like do or die, everything's on the line thing. And it's over like some bullshit.
Right.
And if you look at every movie, that's what every movie does.
Essentially.
How
well do you do that?
He's just really illustrating that point. And I don't know. The more I think about it, I think it's kind of genius. But
it is. You have like the flat Earth imagery in the chapter markers. They show you that round Earth, and it turns out that's like the table the Andromedans have, and the Earth, I guess, is flat.
Is it like the fact that people are at odds over basically silly shit, if you really look at it? Like all this stuff that people argue about is actually really silly shit.
But this one takes it to what if if one of these things was actually.
Oh yeah, this silly shit can end up in a nuclear holocaust in 2 seconds, but it is kind of, maybe that's what it is at the end of the day.
So I read about the actual plot for Save the Green Planet, and it's mostly very similar. Like the same things happen. So I feel like Yorgos was just attracted to like the end. And I'm like, that's where I can make it weird. But the juxtaposition of this grounded thing.
I don't know if this is just the end. I mean, I think he does a great job with like the back and forth and the tit for tat of like what's happening here and the mystery of it. Like, and then you throw in the way he shoots it. I mean, the music too. I mean, it's like
music's great. Yeah,
like it's big. It's very unsettling. The music.
Yes. It's big, bombastic horns and shit.
It's a little bit of a departure for him.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, I'm curious about your guys' thoughts about this compared to like his other movies. So yeah, go ahead.
Poor Things is just, as I said, it's a twisted Frankenstein story, very sexual movie. You know, he creates this girl, and she finds her own agency and finds out about sex and is just into sex. And she's like, I can get paid for this. And she starts fucking, working at a whorehouse. It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny and it's ridiculous. And like people are, there's multiple weird, like just really weird graphic shit going on. But it's kind of a fun, lighthearted, weird movie. Even though it's sexual and an adult, it's kind of like about being obsessed with sex. And this is completely different. It's like on a different level. It's he's doing something with tension in this. That's just great.
What about Kinds of Kindness? Have you seen that? I've heard people say
I've not seen that yet.
That one was a little more like not as well liked. Have you seen some of his older stuff like Dogtooth or Lobster or the Sacred Deer, Killing of the Sacred Deer?
Those are some weird movies.
The Lobster I've heard of. I've never seen it. People have been talking about that. I think that's the movie that put him on the map.
Mm-hmm.
When The Lobster came out, everybody was like, have you seen this movie? It's crazy. But he has these weird titles, and I'm like, why do I want to watch a movie about a lobster? Does a lobster attack Tokyo? Then I'll watch it.
Also, he doesn't write all of his movies. The ones that he's written and directed are actually Kinds of Kindness and Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Lobster.
Well, The Lobster, just if you were curious, is about a newly single bachelor who moves into a hotel with other singles who all are obliged to find a romantic partner within 45 days. Otherwise, they'll be transformed into animals.
Or they turn into a lobster. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. And he wrote that one, but like the ones that people like Poor Things, and this one he did not write. So maybe once he has a good framework, he can, it works better for him.
So both of you guys, I thought you guys had seen some more Yorgos.
No, I meant to see Poor Things, and I never got around to it. But
yeah, this is Poor Things. The favorite, and this one these are my Yorgos Lanthimos movies that I've seen.
Lanthimos.
Does this make you want to see more Yorgos movies? I'm
curious to see The Lobster now.
I want to see Poor Things.
I think you guys would get a kick out of that movie.
No, I'm definitely down to see more Yorgos films. I truly had a blast. I mean, this movie, without giving into my score, which we'll get into like in a second, I had it ranked as my 11th favorite film of the year. Like I had a great time.
Oh, just outside, yeah. Clearly,
I had a great time with Bugonia. I was so entertained throughout the entire movie, and I. Like just going back to like I shouldn't be this entertained by something like this dark and stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had such a great, I think also, even though Yorgos is like the director and like the conductor of all of this, like the technical crafts of it, but the lead performances, I mean, it really rests on those two guys. And then to a lesser extent, Teddy's cousin. Yeah. But they're so good. Yeah. Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone are great in the movie, and you don't often see Emma Stone. You've seen Jesse Plemons play crazy people, like he did a little bit in Warfare where you're like, oh, he can get real
Civil
crazy.
War. That was great.
Civil Wars, yeah.
It was like the best part of the movie.
But Emma Stone, you don't have to see her as like this conniving bitch.
Yeah,
she's fucking. I mean, she's evil in this fucking movie. And it's great.
She agreed to shave her head. She's committed to this shit.
Well, I mean, we saw Sigourney Weaver and Demi Moore do that years ago.
Well, that's true. They used to do it all the time in the 90s. I guess it's nothing new.
Yeah.
Demi Moore started it. But Does Emma have a chance to win this Oscar? No.
Oh, we're getting into that. No.
Do you think
It's
win?
it's going to Jessie Buckley for Hamnet.
Do they get any of these for Best Picture, Actress, Screenplay, Score?
Best Picture, Actress, Screenplay. No, it don't.
They're not getting Best Picture.
Score. Nah,
Adapted Screenplay? I don't think so.
No, well, it got 4 noms. But yeah, it won't win.
Good. And I mean, the music's good, but the other nominations I think are also really good. So
I'm curious to see what he does next, and maybe that'll be the day he gets it.
And should he always make a movie with Emma Stone? Can he make one without her? I don't think so.
It's been working thus far, but I think that he may need to find a new muse. But like, I think that it's been working.
The movie that he did that was closest to winning realistically was Poor Things.
Poor Things, yeah.
But that was going up against Oppenheimer, so it was never going to win. But everyone has that as like, if you were looking at all the tea leaves and what happened that year, it was number 2.
I feel like that when Emma Stone's performance is not as like, I don't know.
It's different.
Well, it is. I mean, she's like a woman who's obsessed with sex.
Oh, right.
And
has
she's
like
constantly fucking people, in this world. She's naked,
she's like an immature mindset.
Yeah, she's like a child with she's basically got a child's brain in a woman's body.
Yeah, it's weird.
So.
It's a little strange.
It's a little strange, but okay, Yorgos. Anthony, give us a score.
I had it as an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, all that I've said everything I could say about it. I thought I had a great time. Really fun movie, and really made me go, man, maybe I should watch more Yorgos stuff.
Yeah, Ruggs, what are you going to give it?
Same score, 8 out of 10 for me. I think it works on a lot of different levels. It is a little bit weird. It does have some things that might be polarizing, and some people might not be into it. I'm not really into the ending as much, but I do get why he did it, and I think it could be seen as a genius move because you end up leaving the movie in a kind of a happier mood.
Yeah,
but I guarantee you that the other movie, the Asian version, is probably way more bleak. Let's see.
I kind of want to see that now to compare. Divisive movie. I just read a thing on Facebook. This guy wrote a whole thing about, I just saw Bugonia, and he goes, I'm never watching another Yorgos Lanthimos movie again. Like, he really hated it. So it's wild. I loved it. I'll even go 8.5. Just kind of my kind of movie. Weird, twisty, dark.
Once you know what the end is and you watch it again, it probably is better because you're not like expecting it to be a different ending.
Yeah. It's very interesting. You appreciate the performances because you're like, she's pretending to not pretend, but actually be the person, but she got to pretend like she's pretending, but she's doing it. It's kind of crazy.
What you just said reminds me of the line when Robert Downey Jr. is in Tropic Thunder.
He's the man. He's a dude playing another dude.
Yeah.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? This is a great movie. You could now make that movie again.